everyone, welcome to the 7th episode of the Sassy Sheep podcast. This is a podcast about knitting and spinning mostly, and about wool dyeing and all things crafty, sassy and woolly. My name is Saskia, and to new viewers, welcome. You're welcome here in my craft room, and I will talk to you about my hobby, about wool dyeing, about knitting, and about all my other woolly endeavors. And to returning viewers, welcome back. I'm very happy that you are taking the time to look at this podcast. Well, first things first, it has been a couple of weeks since my last episode. We were back from holiday, but the kids and me and my husband, we already went to work again, but the kids weren't. They were still on holiday, and for some reason when I got home from work I didn't feel like doing anything. I just wanted to celebrate being off work and having fun with the kids, and all things that looks a little bit like work. Well, recording a podcast is not like work, but I don't know, I just felt like I'm taking it slow, I'm relaxing, I'm having fun, and I'm going to focus on that. And well, I did. And of course it's a bit difficult to record a podcast with a 4-year-old running around in your house. It's a bit tricky. So that's why it's been a couple of weeks, but from now on you will see me every week or every other week again on this YouTube channel. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll go straight on to a finished object. And as you can see, I am wearing it. This is my knit and slide shawl, and I love how it turned out. It's a fade. I joined this shawl in the faded knit along, the faded summer knit along by Stephen West, and as you can see it fades from purple with greenish to orange pinky colors to yellow orange to very light greenish minty with pinks, and it turned, and the edge is made with this gorgeous mohair in coral and orange held together. I really love the way this turned out, and I'm going to try to show you a bit of the awesomeness of this shawl. As you can see, it's huge, but it's so wearable. It has to do with the shape. It's more a bit crescent shaped, I guess. It's not. It should be a half circular, but it's a lot very wide, as you can see, and in that way I love that, because you can wrap it around yourself and place the two ends like this. You can wear it like this, or you can wear it as a wrap as well, like this, and maybe slide one over your shoulder one end. And I love wearing it like this as well. I've been wearing it a lot since I finished it a couple of weeks ago, and I've been wearing it like this mostly at night on the couch when it's a bit chilly. But as of today, I think we're getting autumn here in Holland because the weather is getting colder already, and it's very rainy. So, well, that's it. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Sassy Sheep NL, and as of a couple of days ago, you can also find me on Etsy, and I'm the Sassy Sheep Studio. So if you want to find me, look me up on Etsy, Sassy Sheep Studio. And when you go to my Instagram, Sassy Sheep NL, where NL stands for the Netherlands, because that's where I'm from, you can also see the link in my bio. So please look at my Etsy shop, because I'm going to show you what I've put up in the Etsy shop. And well, I hope you check it out. So this shawl, I already have yarn to make another knit and slide, as I already showed you in an earlier episode, and the other colorways that I'm going to use are all kinds of blue, faded blue colors, and I really love that as well, so I'm definitely going to make it again, not at this moment because it's a very big shawl, and making something else is a good thing as well. The shawl is big, but the ends, as you can see in the bottom of the shawl, is this beautiful edge. I hope I'm able to show it to you in a good way. Yeah. This is a very lovely edge, and as you can see, it has these curves in it, and just think about it, these are extra stitches, and not one, not two, but a lot of extra stitches. I believe at the end of the shawl, in these rows, I had 500 stitches on the needle, which is quite a lot, I agree, but at the largest point, when I had the most stitches on the needles over here, there were 1500 stitches each row. Luckily, it weren't a lot of rows, but it was a lot. But still, it was so much fun making it. It just, when you talk about 1500 stitches, right? That's an enormous amount of stitches. It feels like huge, but actually, when I knitted it, I think it was okay. I didn't mind it that much. I'm seeing that my camera is a bit wonky, so I'm going to try to place it. Is this better? I think so. But anyway, the knit and slide the knit and slide shawl is finished. I love it. It's soft. I used my own Sassy Sheep yarns for it. This is mostly a merino nylon blend, 75% merino and 25% nylon, and I dyed these myself for this shawl, to make the shawl. And the mohair I used here is different, and I did buy it. I did order some mohair in my last order for naked yarns, well, bare skeins of yarn, neutral colors, and they I have a skein of mohair, so I'm going to see how the mohair picks up the yarn. So in the future, when I will make another fade or use or make another shawl and use mohair, I will definitely dye it myself. But for this I did not, and I also used mohair in this coral orange edge of the shawl, which I think looks really great with the rest of the shawl. And in the top of the shawl I used some silk blend with merino, and that's this bit, this bluish purple, and I think I can show you that one because I have it over here, if I am correct. Yes, it's here because I had some left. Oh. And I hope you were able to see it, but it has a bit more shine to it as the other skeins, but it's definitely not very noticeable. It's very much, it was a lot of fun to work with that skein, but it was a bit more slippery because it's shiny, but it is a bit more slippery on the needle, so I really had to get used to working with that, but I think it looks great. And I held two yarns together, so it was okay. Well, no, I did not hold the yarns together, sorry. I used a different color each row, so using the purple together for one row, using the purple for one row, and then when I got back the other row in the garter section here, I used a merino nylon blend, and that does make sure that it's not that different from each other. So I really like it. Oh, oops. Throwing out on my phone. And I want to show you the difference, because here's the rest of the purple skein that I used. I did not use a lot of the purple, as you can see, just a tiny bit up to here. I changed into the next fade, and that's this one. And as you can see, it's a different blend of fibers. This is much more shiny, and it takes up the color a bit different as well, but I do think it both looks very pretty together. And I placed them together in the drawer because I think it would be great to use them together in a project in the future. But I have a whole queue of projects at the moment, so I don't think I'll be doing that very soon. Using that skein, those skeins, I mean. Well, that is my finished object. I don't have any other finished objects because I'm working on something else, very large, and I am not able to show you. Well, that's a pity, isn't it? Very sorry. I'm test knitting something. I'm fidgeting with my shawl. Sorry. I'm test knitting something for Teresa. Teresa is too knitty on Instagram and Ravelry, and I've met her in one of Stephen West's knit-alongs, and on Ravelry in one of those groups, and she's a very friendly, warm person, and she asked me to test knit something for her, a pattern, and I'm really happy because I'm again able to test my own yarns as well. And it's always a good thing to try something new and use something from a different pattern maker, different designer, so you can, you can see what happens if someone else. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm blabbing. There are different designers, and they all use a different way to explain certain things. And I think it's good to try different designers sometimes, so you can learn new things, learn new techniques and other ways of doing things. And I think that's great. The project is in my ghosty project bag, and I'm not going to show you. I am going to show you the yarns that I'm using, because I am able to do that. This is one of the colors that I'm using, and I dyed this. This was one of my first dyes with the chemical dye that I'm using, and my camera is bonky again. Oh. Let me see if I can fix this. Sorry. Yes. I dyed this skein as one of the first skeins that I dyed with my chemical yarn. And chemical yarn? No, it's not chemical yarn. Chemical dye. I'll just grab the skeins and not talk to you at the same time, because I'm not really paying attention that well. Well, anyway, I'm using this skein, which is a very tricky color. I think you're able to see it. It's a very bright greenish yellow skein with well, it's a cake now, of course, but it's very pretty. But I thought it was impossible to mix this with something. But then I held it together with this almost red magenta colorway. You are seeing it a bit more magenta than I am, so I'm going to here. This looks a lot more like the actual color, and these are merino, 100% merino superwash yarns, and I thought, wow, this looks these two look just fabulous together. I don't know why. It looks like a strawberry or watermelon. My daughter already claimed the thing I'm making because it looks like a watermelon to her, at least a bit. And the color looks like a watermelon to her, and she likes that. And that effect is even more noticeable because then I dyed this one. It's a dark greenish turquoise color that suits both colors very well, and I'm really happy with the way it turns out. In this project I needed contrasting yarns because that's something that works for that project. So that was kind of tricky because I am really into making fades and dyeing fades and color that flow into each other, and then you really have to think of, well, what contrasting colors can you use but will still work together. They have to look for complementary colors or colors in the same colorways, same color in the same side of the color chart. Anyway, it was kind of tricky. And then I dyed this cane as the last one, and it has speckles of the other three colors. As you can see, it's not completely white. It has some greenish yellow in the skein, like the top one here, the green one. And when I take this away, I think you're able to see that as well. And it has the red and turquoise speckles in it. On this side you can see that it really has quite some greenish yellow in it. Yeah, as you can see, my wool winder is not really fabulous. I need a new one that is better. But that's going to happen in the future. Something you really have to spend money on, and I like to spend money, but when I go to a shop or local yarn store, I prefer to buy yarn. Oh, I think you guys agree. Buying a wool winder is not one of my top priorities at the moment, and I really have to find a good one. So if you guys have a good suggestion of a very good wool winder and not the little wonky wobbly thing I'm currently using, please let me know. I'll be very thankful. So I'm working on this on this project for Trinity Teresa. It's a very fun project, and please follow her Instagram on Ravelry, because when she's going to put this on Ravelry for you guys to buy the pattern. If you love mindless TV knitting, this is the project for you. Well, that's my work in progress. So I don't have any works in progress except for the stripified shawl, which is just easily sitting and waiting until I'm able to start working on that again. But I already am planning a new project for when I finish the test knit, and I'm joining the Stephen West's mystery knit along of this fall, autumn, and it's coming out September, at the end of September. The pattern is the first clue is released at the end of September, and well, I couldn't resist. I really want to finish my stripified shawl, but this is so much fun. I love joining mystery knit alongs. I made the Mold Magic shawl with a mystery knit along, and I thought that was amazing. And a part of me wanted to join Andrea Renee's. Andrea Renee Knits is her name on Instagram and Ravelry. I wanted to join her mystery knit along as well, which has a lot of brioche in it, As she already stated before sharing any spoilers, so I'm not spoiling anything, but I wanted to join that as well, but with the test knit I'm doing, I'm just not able to join. So maybe if I really love the project, I'll do that later this year or maybe next year. But it does look like for now, I have seen the spoilers, it looks like a fabulous knit along. So a part of me wants to join real bad. Well, because I'm joining the Speckle and Pop Mystery Knits Along by Stephen West, I wanted to dye up a fade. The Mystery Knits Along asks for 3 larger skeins with fades and 5 smaller 80 grams color pops, or any leftovers you have. Anything in your stash that you're able to use. So I was thinking, and at first I dyed up 3 colors, and those were these 3 meant to be a fade. I really dyed this one. This is a bit darker than it was in the beginning, and I'm trying to show you a bit of the orangey it has in it. It's a bit difficult to see. I hope you're able to see it. You can see it over here. Yeah, definitely. Look, this has some yellow in it, orange in it, and the lighter sections of this skein, I did not really like it, and then I redyed it, made it a bit darker, but then it just didn't fit the fade anymore. I didn't really like it that much, this one, so I dyed another skein for that to start the fade with, and it turned out like this. This is the first of the pinky fade that I made. This is the first color. I used very light fuchsia colored dye, and here it's almost magenta, as you can see. Very nice. I really like it. It has a lot of speckles on it, as you can see over here and over here. These are black speckles. There are even some yellow speckles and yellow spots in it. There's some blue, some dark purple, bluish colorway, very nice, and some darker berry colored speckles. So this is the first lightest color of the fade, and then it blends into this one, which has, as you can see, some darker sections. It has some nice blue color pops as well, and sometimes some black color pops, speckles, sorry. It has some magenta in it and some purple, and I really love this color. Oh, look at that, it's amazing. It looks so dark, so pretty, really pretty. And this is the darkest color of the fade. It has the purplish magenta color of the second colorway of this fade, and it has really dark blackish blue, bramble colored sections in it, with purple. I'm trying to focus. Yes, please focus. Yes. And I really like that diversity between the darker bits and the warm colored purple bits and a bit of the magenta over here. So this is the fade that I'm going to use, and now I only need a couple of color pops. And I've been in doubt what kind of color pops to use. At one point I thought, well, maybe it's a good idea to use some really contrasty yarns, because that's the idea, of course. Speckle and pop, they really have to pop out. to use some yellow in it, or maybe some blue. But I'm not there yet. I'm not sure. I'm just going to overthink it and, well, sleep over it a couple of nights and think about the colors that I want to use to really stand out. Do I really want different colors, or am I going to use colors that are already as speckles in the yarn itself? I'm not sure. I thought, well, maybe a very light pink like this one is a good idea. You know, it can really pop out, but I'm not sure. So for now, I'm not doing that. I'm just thinking and see what I will choose, and I'm even thinking of just waiting until the first clue comes out and feel what's best for the project when I'm able to see a bit more of it. These yarns are already in my All You Need Is Yarn project bag. It's made by Bir, B-I-R, which is Birgit. You can find her on Facebook and Instagram, Made by Bir, B-I-R. I'm going to place my skeins back into the project bag. So, well, that's that. So I've been dyeing up that. I've also took place in a swap with two very lovely ladies. One of I made skeins for is Katie, and you can find her on Instagram as KB Redback, and the other one is handprint by Celine, and from Celine I got these gorgeous skeins, and she dyed these herself as well, and I made some self-dyed skeins too. And look at this, it's a 80-10-10 superwash merino cashmere nylon high twist yarn. As you can see, it's very high twist, but it's so extremely soft, and I would have never have guessed that these two colors work so well together. It's a bit faded muted pink, which we call old pink in Dutch, and this is almost an egg yolk color here, over here. It's very pretty, and I think it's a bit stripy. If I would use a sock to make a sock for it, it would be a bit stripy. It's very lovely. Thank you so much, Celine. And I also got this lovely little rainbow one-of-a-kind skein, and it's an 80% merino and 20% polyamide, so I'm very happy with that. Thank you. She also gave me some lovely stitch markers, and I'm only going to show you one of them because the other ones are already in use in my secret test knitting projects, so I'm not able to show you. Let me see, can I find it? Of course I can't. Yes, here it is. It's in a little bag, and this is one is cute, and the other ones are even more cute. They look at this. It's measuring tape. Isn't it cute? Oh, I like it so much. Thank you so much, Celine, for your awesome package. It was I loved swapping with you, but I never guessed how difficult it is to dye up something for someone else and they just say, oh, I like this color, just do something, just try something. That's difficult, and that's kind of hard. I'm also planning on dyeing yarn for Monica, who's Monica Merry Clusters on Instagram and Ravelry, and she's a friend of mine in the US, and she designs yarn. Well, she doesn't design yarn, she designs patterns, and she's a very talented lady, and well, I'm very curious to see what we're going to think of making, the two of us. So I'm very curious to see that. Just something that we just started talking about, so I can't tell you a lot about it yet, but maybe in the next episode. So then I had some skeins lying around, and For instance, these two, and I already told you guys that I was going to sell this because I wasn't going to use it. These are a bit mild because they have cotton in it, but it's a very sturdy yarn. You can use it perfectly on socks if you are going to want to make socks that are really sturdy, that you're going to use maybe in shoes that are a bit that need very firm socks. This is the thing to use. And I also had this cane still lying around, a very lovely autumny colorway that I'm not going to use very soon. And then I also dyed this one that I wanted to dye for the fade, but it didn't make it. And I must say I'm kind of in love with this one. It's a very pretty color. It has red and orange and magenta, and it has some greens in it, and it's really speckly. And I'm going to pull it apart because I really love how it turned out. You're able to see it a bit. As you can see, this section is really light, and then this section is more magenta, and this is a really nice fiery color, orange and red here. So I'm kind of in love with this cane, but I decided something. I've told you guys a couple of times that I wanted to open up an Etsy shop, and as I already kind of spoiled in the beginning of this episode, I really wanted to I already opened an Etsy shop, and these 4 skeins are currently in the shop, so you are able to buy them. And I'm going to put up some more yarn in it in the future, but I'm just waiting for a bit nicer weather so I can photograph some of the skeins that I want to offer as well, because I'm planning on selling my Fury Fade as well. And a Fury Fade, I'm going to show you my Fury Fade. This is my Fury Fade. It's a very light orangey yellow color, and it goes to a red orange colorway with some black to represent fire. And this one is a bit darker, and it has really dark sections, and also some yellow and red sections. So this is my Fury Fade. And this and the name was thought of by Monica Mary Clusters. She asked me to dye up a new for her, and I did. I made a Fury Fade for her as well, and she thought of the name the Fury Fade. So, well, all credits to her for the name. And well, if you're interested, I'm going to put this up in the Etsy shop in the next week. So if you're interested, please check it out. And it's kind of exciting opening up an Etsy shop, and I'm very curious to see how things are going to go, and it feels good to finally done it and finally made that choice to do it, because it's kind of scary, you know, putting yourself out there. I think that's the things I wanted to show you for this week. Do I have something else I want to talk to you guys about? Well, yes. Currently, as you guys know, some of you who have been following me on Instagram, or that have been following this podcast earlier, or have watched the earlier episodes, I'm one of the indie dyers of the Truly Hooked Instagram not Instagram Ravelry group, Truly Hooked on Socks group. It's a sock cal which lasts almost a year. It's 10 months of sock knitting, so if you're interested, you can still join. It's they're using the patterns from the book The Sock Drawer by Verity Castledine, and they are 10 patterns, sock patterns, with very lovely, beautiful patterns in it, and it's a very pretty sock gal, because I've checked out the patterns already and they look incredible. The first year of the first month is the almond sock. Yes, it's the almond sock, and it's very pretty. It has a really nice lacy pattern in it, so please check it out if you want to join. And in the month March, I will be the indie dyer for the sock from the month March, and it's called the Frances sock. So if you want to check it out already, please do so. And I'm going to dye up some yarn for that one. I'm not really sure what colors to use. It would be a bit of a semi-solid, or a semi-solid with really mild speckles in it, and not too crazy color wise, because of course when you're working with a lacy intricate pattern, you really want to see the pattern very well. And if you're going to use bright and very bright skeins with a lot of color changes, that's a bit difficult to see. Excuse me, sorry. So I'm very happy that I'm able to join and that they asked me to join. So Carla and Carla and Jennifer, thank you so much for asking me again. You can follow more about their endeavors on the Ravelry group or on the YouTube channel. It's Seiku Handmade. CQ Handmade is the Ravelry group. When you check no, not the Ravelry group, the YouTube channel. I'm sorry, I'm really mixing up things today. I think it's because I'm a bit tired. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm not talking too long today. I'm going to do some other fun things and work on my test knit. I can hardly wait to knit on it again. It's so much fun. Please check out Knitty Teresa. And I don't think I have anything else to talk to you guys about. Yes, we are going to go to the craft fair again in October, so I'm going to check that out. Maybe I'm going to see some of you guys there, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And in the same weekend we are going to Amsterdam for the weekend. We're going to attend a concert on Monday, me and my husband Harry, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And in the weekend we want to stay in Amsterdam, and I'm definitely going to stop by some shops in Amsterdam. Yes. So I can hardly wait to go there. Well, yeah, that's it for now. I hope to see you next week. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you all you guys, all my followers on Instagram, because I'm getting more and more followers every week. And thank you everyone for joining me and watching my endeavors on Instagram and Ravelry, and thank you so much for all your support. I really want to thank a couple of people for that, because I just sometimes I really need to pinch myself that I have so many friendly yarny friends who support me and encourage me to just go on and dye more yarn and make more new things, and you know, they're really making me want to do more with my inspiration and with my hobbies. So thank you all so much, and with that I am going to stop. Hope to see you next week. Bye everyone.